Hello, welcome to Talk Time Anime. My name is Jordan, sorry, and I am with my friend Luca.
Hello.
Again, it's just us two. If you coming from the My Hero video anyway. So yeah, it's a duo today, but we are discussing and reviewing One Piece chapter 994.
Yeah.
Well, where do we lead? Oh, of course we led off from Okiku getting her arm chopped off. We was a bit
Yes.
worried last week, wasn't we, about that we thought it was more than her arm, that it was potentially her body.
Yeah.
But like, because it was a bit of like a weird panel, like the side profile kind of thing. It was a lot of blood. But no, luckily it was just her arm, and to be honest, she took it like a trooper, right? Like I was
Yeah,
so
she was smiling.
tis but a scratch. Like it was like how I don't know. I suppose like in that situation you got to survive anyway. But like how casual they all were a bit about it. Obviously they were like shouted her name and that because they were a bit like fuck. Like, but like how quickly Izu and Kinaimon sorry was on the scene to like deal with it was good, and like she didn't even like barely. I want to say like react to the pain almost. It was a bit like a just it was just like okay done now. The wound is
Kanaimon is so versatile.
yeah right yeah no he is
It's,
like he's really showing up a bit this time like showing like because everyone always not always thought right but people forget like that obviously he's one of the Seven Samurai but because we've had him for so long and he's obviously got some like comic relief about him but
yeah.
he's ridiculous. Like in say like if he did stay like permanently with which I don't think he will, but like stay permanently with a crew. He's such like he's used to like an all rounder. Like he could do so much. Like he's always a good kind of even if it's like a support. He's always like a kind of good person to have by your side, basically. Like
100%.
like
Especially this version of him.
him,
Like, if
yeah.
he,
Like he's strong.
he's dedicated to the Straw Hats
Hats.
like he has dedicated to fight Kaido, then
Yeah,
he'd
that's
be a
it.
beast.
That's it. Like as you said, like he knows. Like that emergency, he was just like straight on it kind of thing. He's quick on the emergency, and fighting wise, you'd always have him at least supporting you, like kind of thing. So, nah, that was sick. But then we get another sick panel of the samurai. We keep getting them. He loves drawing them. But also, I like it because we're getting more shots of the Sulong forms and stuff of like
Yeah.
Cat Viper and Dogstorm.
We had to wait so long for them, so it's only right.
It's only right we get
all
plenty
these
of
shots.
panels. Yeah, it's true. Oh man, but no, looking good. I mean, also we were saying at the time, but we don't know what to make of him reverting back to human form because obviously there's been a lot of talk about whether human form or dragon form Kaido is like his strongest form or not. I mean, everyone presumed at the time dragon form was like he's like almost his power, but then there's like say devil fruit power or whatever. But we still don't know. Like he could just be this kind of being, you know.
Yeah, like if like the people who say he is a dragon first and then a person,
But yeah,
like it would make sense his human form being the stronger form.
stronger form.
'Cause
Yeah,
it's, to him being a dragon is just being a dragon. But those
Yeah.
invisible slashes from last chapter
yeah, like the one.
were
Yeah,
so crazy.
Yeah, definitely. Like as you said, like I don't know. Like if he could keep spamming that, if it wasn't like like a major attack for him, if it was just like him swailing about or whatever, then you'd think he could keep doing that kind of like keep it up. But
Yeah,
then
and like
yeah.
Kanaimon says, "Don't be conceited, Kaido."
Yeah.
Like, so that says to me that Kaido's being a bit cocky here, but
Yeah.
like you say, like all of his like big wins have come in his human form. So
Yeah. Like this is the things I don't know how to make of it because I think you're right in terms of like he's because like even last chapter he was kind of like I was a bit shook because you reminded me of Odin and stuff. But then obviously when he comes to his senses he realised you couldn't even cut my scar and stuff. So now it's almost like as you said, like he's realised almost like maybe he's realised their level and he's like I have nothing to worry about here. So he like goes back into his thing. He just wants to have some fun. But it's weird because in the bit you're talking about, I fully get that feeling, right? But then there's the panel where he's like whenever someone says this, I always imagine it's like serious, like a big statement when he's like, "Let's end this now." Like, you know, like he wants to, like, you know, that to me sounds serious though. But at the same time, in that panel, it's kind of like his mouth's cut off, but he's kind of smiling, so maybe he's just trying to have a bit of fun, you know.
Yeah.
So, but either way, he looks hard. To be fair, I love that panel. By the way, of
Oh, he
Kaido.
looks
Yeah,
sick
yeah, he
in this
looks
panel.
sick. Yeah, he looks
Yeah, no.
amazing. But yeah, no. So I don't really know what to make of it. And to be fair, like, I mean, it could just be because he's strong, right? But even like in that panel, he's got like veins in his fist, like as if like he's clenching them. So it's not like he's not like he's like casual or anything. It's not giving me that casual feeling. It's like he's still, you know, in the
He's
fight.
ready.
Kind of. Yeah, he's ready. He wants to go in, and that's another thing. It's like, oh, I noticed. I don't know if it's just coincidence and event times kind of thing, but a lot of the times where we see him and he takes out people, he is in his human form. Like when he's reigning over people and stuff in Wano, he's in his dragon form, right? But like, I mean, I thought it was maybe to show that like the power difference, which it still could be. But like when he took out Luffy, when he took out Odin, but then Odin, like, as I said, it could have been because he kind of got a bit taken by surprise by Odin. So, and then he had to hit him like one shot. But then you'd think if he had one shot, that he would use his strongest move, right? Like, you know, as quickly. But then, or maybe he used his quickest move. Maybe that was just, at the time, that was his quickest move to get out, and he knew he could hit a vital point. So, I don't know. Like,
I mean, it could just be. It could just be the fact they could be equal, like in strength between dragon and human, and like he's gone back to human because of Kanaimon's like fire slashing.
Yeah, I mean.
But then again, because we had those invisible slashes, it makes no sense.
Do you?
Like,
I imagine people were theorizing about this, right? Like I haven't seen much, but do you think there's a possibility that there's like a form of Kaido we haven't seen yet? Like when I say that, I mean like, you know, like how you see Drake kind of turn half dinosaur, half human. Do you think there's like
that would be cool.
Yeah, like an in-between point potentially with Kaido, and that's maybe that's like his ultimate like full out kind of like equal kind of thing. Or like,
yeah, that would be dope.
Because I would love to see him, like, because the thing is, right, like, again, this is also kind of going with the statement of the events that we've seen him. We've only seen him in events where he's had one hit in, or like he's had one thing in, kind of thing, or like right now is the most prolonged fight we've seen him in. So
yeah,
if he's going all out against someone for like a good amount of time, say Luffy in the future, I want to see what he could pull out. Like if he's going full on at someone, would he just keep switching between dragon and human, but like in like a quicker motion, or will it have like a half and half form? Like I don't know, maybe I'm thinking too like fast paced fights, but like I'm thinking like if he's got if say Luffy or someone like that, or like a quick character like Odin, if they had to go all out against each other straight up, and he knew how strong Odin was, I imagine he wouldn't just be able to stay in one form unless he could transform quickly in a way. So
yeah,
like I don't know. Nah, it's got me thinking. I really want to see Kaido fight some more now. Like I got, oh man.
Listen, so do I. He's very intriguing. Like
Yeah. That's what One Piece.
I still feel like there's a lot to him we haven't.
Yeah, I mean,
barely scratched the surface of him, basically.
Yeah, I mean, this is what seems to happen with One Piece, right? Like whenever I talk about a character in One Piece, like with people, is like we see these characters like Kaido, like Shanks and that, right? Like especially Shanks, but Kaido as well. Like we've been introduced to Kaido for so long that you kind of get a full sense like that you kind of know a lot about him. But then when you actually sit down and think about it, you still haven't seen it. Yeah. Like it's like the whole Shanks plot twist before. I've always said that like that's the only time when the Shanks plot twist come in and it was like it almost looked like he was a villain in that scene. That's the only time I thought, holy shit, I know nothing about Shanks. You know?
Exactly.
Like, and that seems to be what One Piece can do to my brain. But like
even in this panel, like he says, like Kaido says, you know, death is what completes a person.
Yeah.
Like
I think
Kaido has been like trying to off himself like ever since we met him, basically.
Yeah, like
you know?
it's like, is it because he wants his story to end now? Like he's like done enough, he's like had enough, or is it just because he's bored? Like maybe, right? Maybe like we'll get a thing like I know it sounds like cheesy and that, but it is One Piece. You know, it has a bit of cheesy cliche moments. But is it going to be like? I mean, this is like just a stretch and just like a silly thing. But it's like, if say Luffy's fighting him, is that going to like say Luffy is on equal footing with him, which I don't know if he will be, or like say Luffy and Kid and Law or something are on equal footing with him, whoever the fights ends up being, right? What if at that point that's when he wants, like he says something like almost Robin-esque in terms of, like, I want to live kind of thing. This is it. Like, this is the first time I felt alive kind of thing. I could imagine it.
That would be deep.
Deep, yeah. And then that could be around the time we get a backstory. Now I'm just thinking too far into it, but you know what I mean? Like, we could get something like that.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Like,
yeah, would
be very One Piece, but then One Piece is also very surprising. So, so it's hard to predict. But no. Anyway, we've spoke about like the first 5 pages for long enough, but like I feel that was a good 5 pages to be fair. But when we jumped to the first castle level, I believe, and it's Luffy, Sanji, and Jinbei still running, kind of like going straight for him, and them telling Luffy that he's not allowed to fight, of course. But then we get introduced to Four Tricks. Is it Four Tricks? Yeah, Four Tricks and Hamlet. Which have definitely split the fan base in terms of character design, because he comes up with some wacky stuff, man. He really does.
He came up with 2 characters last chapter as well, didn't he? And
yeah. These beast pirates,
I can't remember their names.
Yeah. We probably want to see them.
They just get...
No, but...
Yeah, they're so irrelevant now in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah. Maybe
everyone is so strong.
Strong, yeah. That's the thing, and I'm glad in a way, right? Because that's what you got to try and point out. Because like everyone says, like, oh, I'm not saying that he has a chance, right? In terms of, because I don't know yet, right? But everyone's like, oh, Luffy don't stand a chance, Straw Hats don't stand a chance against like beast pirates and stuff because he's an emperor, blah blah blah. I'm like, that's the point, though. Is that like he meant to show like the potential to be an emperor? Like I think after this arc is when he's going to be cemented emperor, like because obviously like he's like kind of like a rookie emperor almost. Like he's kind of some people accept him as one and some people don't. But that's what I mean. That's their level, you know. Like if he's only got a crew of, well, I know he's got like a fleet and stuff now, or kind of thing, right? But if you've got a crew of like mainly like 10 crew members and you're that level, you're gonna have a strong crew, right? Like Sanji and Jinbei and that. Like, and they're gonna take out. They've got to take out these headliners like that, otherwise they never get anywhere. You know.
Exactly, and like Luffy, like as idiotic as he comes across, like
yeah.
If you put 10 chefs in front of him, because that's ultimately, you know, the reason he wanted Sanji. But if you put 10 chefs in front of him, Luffy isn't just gonna pick, you know, the nicest one or whatever.
No, yeah. It's always done interesting most, and they tend to be the most genuine ones. It just seems to happen naturally for him, kind of thing.
Exactly. Yeah. He has an eye for people, and he's got a crew of, you know, pure quality now.
Yeah, except for Chopper when he almost ate him. But other than that, yeah. Like, but by the end. But no, like, actually, I just remembered as well about Sanji. Like, Sanji and Jinbei both saying stop growing like that. Like, it's as if Oda knows those. Like, the characters only gave last chapter, with the gorilla. Was it a gorilla on his hand or something? It was some. I can't remember now. But like the that guy, and he's as if he knows he's being bloody weird at this point. Like some of the things he's coming up with. But no, it was funny. It was good. But then we jump back to Queen. The whole Queen thing with Zoro and that, and they're he's still infecting people. I knew it would. It's getting deeper and deeper. Like the more you realise what he's actually doing to people, that like they can only survive for like an hour, and that they're like because of how cold they are, and it's infecting more people, kind of thing.
Yeah, it's literally just like a touch. Like
if they touch the skin, that's it. So a lot of like the kind of say normal, I guess, infantry soldiers. I mean, you could never be in that situation, could you? Like, you know, like try and.
That'd be horrible.
Yeah, like in terms of if in this, the way I thought of it when I was reading it was like I was like, yeah, obviously for like a Zoro or like even like a kind of mid-power level side character, you can probably keep him at arm's length with a sword. But you give it to like a normal person, like some of these people fighting, right? I would struggle to keep someone at sword's length without them being able to touch me, right? So that like they're saying, like it's spreading like mad, like, and then now that boss guy, like the massive guy, got infected. It's like, oh, like, but
Yeah, Chopper thinks he can cure them though, which is great because
yeah, I really like Chopper.
This is Chopper's. This is Chopper's whole like thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
wanting to be able to cure everything. So
yeah,
this could be a big moment for him.
Yeah. And I forgot, like, because I kind of giggled, but then I was like, oh shit, yeah, of course, because like Chopper and Robin are kind of like just poking them with the sticks or whatever. But of course, they're both just pure hands. Like Robin literally, and like obviously Chopper Kung Fu point, you can't touch him. So it's like Brooks still got his sword, but I don't know. This could be like, it probably would be fine, but like how well would Brooks' ice thing work now? Like his usual ice moves, like would it still work, or would it like, you know? Like, would it just not affect him now? Like, I don't know.
Well, I think Brooke, from what Brooke said, I think Brooke is gonna do like a Whole Cake Island.
Yeah, I hope
part
so.
2 where he's the one who steals the antidote from Queen.
Yeah. I hope so. He has to. He always has. Oh, I love Brooke, man. He always does the low key bits, and he gets it done. Like, he gets it done.
Master Thief.
Yeah, Master Thief. Or he just like he manages to get in them spots, like as you said, like Whole Cake and stuff, when he smashed the picture and things, like disguised, and it's like he can always get around. Like he always manages to like be forgotten somewhat, which is potential is going to happen if Zoro and that gets involved, because obviously like you got your eyes focused on Zoro if he starts coming at you, like, but no, yeah. Again, what I was saying before, I really like Chopper's bit in this, like that, like just seeing him like how clearly angry he is in that panel.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was reading it, I was like, "Oh, go on, Chopper," and I realized I couldn't do anything because he can't touch him. But it was like, because he's clearly like pure anger when he says like the mastermind behind the virus is right there. Like he's so angry at Queen, like, you know. And I'm like, I kind of want something to come of that, but we'll see. Because obviously it's Queen and I don't want to underplay him or anything.
I mean, Zoro's here as well, which is one of the...
Yeah.
Which is like, Zoro... It's weird because like, Sanji and Jinbei are the ones like protecting Luffy at the moment.
Yeah.
But like, when this all really first broke out, we all kind of expected Zoro to be the one heading to Kaido. With Luffy, you know?
I'm not saying he's going to beat him enough, but I still have faith. I still have faith he's going to be the one.
I still have faith
he's going to get involved
but like,
somehow.
What I'm saying...
But yeah.
What I'm saying, if Zoro takes out Queen and then goes to Kaido, that is...
Yeah, I agree.
That is... He's goated.
Yeah,
like,
honestly.
Already
he's already goated,
but
he's... Honestly, how can you hate Zoro? Like, it's impossible. Like, I don't understand, like, if you... Oh, my God. If he does that... And, to be fair, though, like... Because, obviously, as we've always said, like, we've said in previous reviews and stuff, how, like... There's just so many players, you know? And anytime a new headliner gets announced, we think maybe it's like they get swat away. But like Zoro and stuff, like I always said Zoro King, but then it's like, but then you've still got Kid and you've still got Law and stuff. Even though I'm feeling like Law might not get a full-on fight, but he might be kind of like, he'll play a big role in one of the fights, if that makes sense. Like I feel like he's not going to get maybe a fight himself, but
I'm feeling now that King is probably going to get a rematch versus Sanji.
You think? Oh, I don't know if you
Jinbei might even help out in that, because King is like the last guy, is the last like guard before Kaido, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's like on an upper level.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? That would be interesting, because like I think we were saying before, I don't know if we said it in the podcast or in the podcast of the reviews, but we were saying how like obviously lots of people were debating whether Sanji is now in the top 3 or in the Monster Trio because of Jinbei. Like, is Jinbei the replacement?
Yeah.
But that would be interesting, because you said before about that, and then said it's funny how Oda is now putting them together and making like a nice thing of them. Like, but yeah, but if he actually made it so, if them two fought together against a king or a queen, that would be interesting. I'd like that a lot, to be fair. I would take that matchup.
Because it's always been like Zoro at Luffy's back. You know, that's been the consistent one, and now he's not. He's a bit more solo now. You know, so.
I do agree.
It's very interesting to see how the dynamics are going to change with Jinbei.
Yeah, I mean, just people's places and like people like where we think people are going to go keeps changing. So all the matchups we thought were going to happen, we honestly have no idea. I mean, we haven't seen Kid again, like, or Law obviously, but Law's doing his own thing with the other ones. So like that's to be expected. I feel like Law, as I said before, is going to come out at like kind of like a surprising time. You know, he's going to be like a kind of I was about to say Uno reverse card, but like he's gonna be like something that can shift the fight or something, shift one of the fights. I feel, but I feel like we're still gonna get a full on fight from Kid. I feel like we're gonna jump back to Kid at some point, and
this is the thing. Like,
he's gonna be somewhere.
I want Zoro to have a big moment against Kaido because like this is Wano arc, swordsman. Samurai.
Yeah, and I'm not being funny. I was about to say
this is him.
This is him. This is Samurai Island. Like, and he's had his own little, how do I put, like side story like leading up to it. He's been like his own main character of that little side bit he had in like the beginning of Wano kind of thing. So
this is what I'm saying. He's he's like a main character for himself at the moment.
Yeah, and Oda really hyped it up as you say, like by not having him whole cake. I mean, it kind of hyped up his return, and he fulfilled that. When he come back, he was sick. Like, you know, he had that sick introduction. So yeah, it's all building up to it. Like, hopefully.
And then, as you say as well, like Kid desperately needs a dub.
And he was so involved a few chapters back, like, you know, like 5-6 chapters back, in terms of like, you know, like he was bashing in there with Luffy and everything, and then we just haven't seen him in Killer. But I feel like that's why I feel like Kid and Killer are going to come back either with a bang or they're going to be in a bad way, but they'll come back from it. That's what I think. I still feel like he's going to get his dub. But the next time we see him, he might be fighting someone and he might not be in the best of ways or something.
True.
That's I'm just thinking like what happened in One Piece before. Either that or it'd be the complete opposite and he's just wiped them all out. And we're going to be like, what? Imagine if we just don't see the samurai for a bit. Luffy gets to the top floor saying and Kid's already there. That would be insane.
That would be a funny moment.
Yeah,
they're very competitive with each other. So yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
Oh my god.
Because they were trying to see who could carry the most like stone in the prison, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that now.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I need to remember what happened to Kid, like where he ended up going. Can't remember what. But no.
We only got like a tiny panel of him and Law like fighting some like fodder people.
Yeah.
Like, it's been a while since we've seen either of them.
Cause the more you were talking about like them coming in, I remembered about like obviously Zoro, Luffy, and Kid all being together, and I really thought they'd stay like that until Kaido, but obviously then they've all separated. So
we'll find out soon enough, I'm sure.
Yeah, I thought Kid was around Scratchman for some reason, but I think something must have happened that I'm forgetting about. But yeah, it's a lot to keep up with weekly as well, or like fortnightly at times. So,
speaking of Scratchman, shall we move on to the next bit?
Yeah, of course. So, Queen basically announces it as well because he says it's no fun otherwise. But he gives Scratchman an antidote for this plague infection, ice infection that's going around that he's spreading. But he says the only antibodies in the world right now that can be administered straight away is on Scratchman, and they've got to basically hunt him down. And everyone turns to him, like even Chopper's like, Zoro, okay. And it's like, and to be fair, Zoro is a bit of a how do I put it? He loves Chopper, bless him. So anything Chopper tells him, he's gonna go for it. The man when he says he's got it, I mean. Scratchman v Chopper. I mean, Scratchman v Chopper would be interesting, but Scratchman.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, Scratchman v Zoro is kind of like you'd think a sweep, but Scratchman kind of doing a bit of an evil buggy, I'd say, and just running away. Kind of giving me them vibes right now. I can't lie. But
and I was gonna say as well, like this trio, like Chopper, Zoro, and Robin is like kind of. Yeah, I was going to say for you You must be
I
beaming.
I'm loving it, and even like a little bit of Brooke on the side. Like, I'm like, yeah, this is great. You know, like I wanted obviously a lot of Robin, and he's given me so much lately, Oda. Like, I'm not even asking. Like, obviously I'd like a full on fight, like a Skypiea-esque kind of fight. That she got. But like I know, like that's what I mean. Like Skypiea fight, I know it was against like basically fodder, right? But I just enjoyed it a lot because it showed a lot of her attitude and stuff. And
Yeah.
and like it just showed like how savage she is, which she is, like, you know, like when she actually fights someone, she doesn't give a shit, like, you know. And I'm glad she's got the moment she had in this arc. I'm still hoping on that, but I don't know if that's going to happen realistically. But just the moments I've got in this Wano arc and this Wano War arc of Robin is great. Zoro, obviously, oh my god, like they're basically bar Luffy, my two favorite Straw Hats. So I think Zoro is in most people's top 2, if not 3, right? So that's not really surprising. Yeah.
I think we did a podcast where all 4 of us ranked our.
Yeah, of course. And
didn't we?
all of us had him like at the top or second, right? I think like.
I think Emon was the only one who had Sanji above him.
Yeah, Sanji was like his favorite. I think maybe it was like Sanji, Nami, and Zoro for him. I can't remember because I know he likes Sanji and Nami. That would be my prediction anyway. But like my one fluctuates a lot with Zoro and Robin. But when Robin gets her moments, I love Robin just because I find her humour funny and just like the way she fights, I find interesting. But we just don't get enough of it, which kind of thing. And I think she's just such a big player. Like the fact she's the only one that can read the poneglyphs and everything. And then she gives me wholesome moments like the bit in the zoo, and I still remember that. And I'm like, protect at all costs. Like we cannot let her die. But no, I think
I had Luffy, Zoro, Robin, and Nami. I think that was my top 4, and then Chopper I think was 5th.
Yeah, I think I can't remember where I put Chopper, but I love my like as you were saying, this is like one of my favorite trios, right? Because 2 of my favorite relationships in the Straw Hats is Robin and Chopper and Zoro and Chopper, right? Just because 1, they're humorous, and 2, I kind of like find them quite cute. Like the whole Robin Chopper when she first joined the crew kind of thing. And then Zoro and Chopper in early stages as well was hilarious. Kind of feel like he always
it's such a contrast between one being really cute and the other being like this jock of a man.
Yeah. But it's like it is like with Chopper and Zoro. Maybe I'm going a bit too far here, right? But it feels like a baby brother, big brother kind of relationship, and that's what I love. Like I think it's like great. Like the fact that like I know that arc was trash, right? I know it was, but the Foxy arc, right? But that moment when they stole Chopper and Zoro tells him to like man up and stuff, like I love that. Like, you know, like when he's like telling him to like stop crying, like you knew what you was getting into basically, and all that. And I was
it was a big turning point for him.
It was, like because obviously Chopper, bless him, he's basically only a child really, and it's like especially at that point, and it was like him first going on to the seas and everything. And as most people said, it probably was a bit harsh, but a great moment nonetheless. Because like obviously after that, it kind of pushed Chopper to man up, and like you say, a big turning point for him. So no, I as I said, I know I'm probably tangent off too much about that, but that's one of the reasons why I really like those relationships. But
it's great.
Long may that trio continue, and hope we get some good moments from all 3 of them. To be honest,
definitely.
And I hope we get a classic Brook moment in the lead up as well. I hope our prediction is somewhat right, maybe with a bit of a twist. But I hope that, as I said, I hope Brook has another big moment. I know he had one in the last arc, but I can never get enough of Brook, so hopefully anyway. But yeah, after that, we jump and we're back with Yamamoto, because we kind of got left on that, didn't we? Was that the other chapter, or was that in the same chapter as last week?
It was the same chapter as last week.
Same chapter as last week, yeah. And because it got us talking last week about how strong
she was.
Yeah, like, and we're still wondering that, to be fair, but so far she seems pretty meta. No, she's protected Shinobu and it's got Momonosuke. I'm not going crazy, right?
Yeah.
My brain just goes a complete blank. And I don't know why my brain just went. No, but then she reveals to Shinobu about how she saw her 20 years ago at the execution and stuff. and it like shocked Shinobu. But I would like to see where she was actually like, where she was there, Yamamoto, kind of thing, and like
she would have been like a little baby.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like how vividly she seems to remember it. Obviously, it was like a big turning point in her whole life with the fact that she wants to be Odin. But she says some pretty impactful stuff, like how like Kazuki Odin brought tears to my eyes, like the life of him. But I don't know if about you, right? But okay, maybe I'm going too far now that I've thought about what I'm about to say, right? But that when she tanked that hit from the back, right? It gave me such Luffy vibes, like from when he I don't know if it's the way like Oda drew it, right? But you know, like when he stopped that elephant. The elephant, was he an elephant? The guy, and he like grabbed his trunk and it blew up, kind of thing. It really gave me them vibes. I don't know why, like kind of like because it was just hard. Like she just took it and it was like nothing, you know. Like it was like
I got it's not comparable, but it is. It's not really comparable in terms of scale, but like I got Zoro vibes from Thriller Bark.
Oh, what? Did you? What, like when he's just standing there? Like... Yeah, fair enough. No, yeah. But how she takes it. But then it doesn't seem to have affected her at all. Makes me think straight up, is she a dragon as well? Like, you know, like, obviously the horns and that were like a giveaway. But you know like how he has like the hardened skin and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, like, I wouldn't... Yeah.
I mean, if
I feel that's fair.
Dragon v Dragon, that'd be pretty sick. Yeah, she does go against Kaido. Anyway. But yeah, or her versus King. Like if she can fly as a, like,
and if she is a dragon, that will like only prove that like Kaido is not like a devil fruit user, but a genuine dragon.
Dragon, yeah.
Then,
because as much as
how would have that wouldn't have been passed down genetically unless he was a genuine dragon.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like, as much as she says, "Oh, I love Odin" and stuff, you never see her using like you never see her using like two sword style, right? She's always using the bat and everything like Kaido. like
Kaido,
yeah. So, and she's got the horns, and you know, like everyone was like, "Oh, are they just like accessories?" But it's like, no, because why would she wear horns if she likes Odin? Do you know what I mean? Like they've got to be like actually her body, right?
And she's still like acknowledged her own name at the end of this chapter, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't think she's like trying to hide the fact that, you know, she's the daughter of Kaido.
Yeah,
or the son of Kaido.
Yeah, because I was gonna say like I think if she was trying to hide it, her character design would be more like so like she'd have like you know, maybe have chopped her horns off or something, you know, like as to like, you know, like a rebellious kind of thing,
like a Hellboy type
yeah
thing.
And she definitely wouldn't use the bat and everything like him,
exactly.
So I don't think she's trying to like not say she is, but at the same time she's just saying like how she obviously disagrees with how her father, teenage rebellious stage really. But yeah,
it also makes me more interested in Kaido as a parent as well, seeing
yeah, because he obviously like, still respects her, like, you know, so
very interesting.
I mean, who she's up against right now, I think she's gonna beat, right? Oh, then again, it is one of the Tepai Robbie, right?
Yeah.
Like that guy's there.
This will be a big win for her.
That
if she beats this guy.
That big guy got fucking wiped. He got wiped. He got like a home run. But no, I'm looking forward to it because I'm looking forward to seeing what this guy's gonna do because he always seemed like quite a big shot in the Tepe Robbie. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, he seems more vocal than most of them, definitely.
Yeah, so like seeing what he can do will be interesting. Maybe he'll like surprise us a bit. But that might be a good fight for Yamato, and if they give us a clue of how strong he is in that group, it might give us if she ends up fighting him, how easily or how hard it is to beat him, might give us a good idea of her power level, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But no, as we've been saying it for a few weeks, but we're really interested to see where Yamato, like how strong she is, and like the way she fights in general. Because obviously we've seen her like throw the bat around and that, but be interesting to see like two bat style or something like Odin style and Kaido put together or some shit. That would be mad.
That would be cool. Yeah.
But no. How would you rate the chapter out of 10? This one.
Oh, I'd give, because we had that trio plus Brooke. It adds to it a lot.
Right.
Oh my god, I give it a 9. I feel like we've had better.
Yeah.
But like it's been a great chapter.
Usually you're the one that's harsh on these, right? And I'm the one that just said about them trios and tangented off. I'd say for me it was like an 8. Like,
okay, fair enough.
No, only because because like you said, the main chunk of it, and that's what I was happy with, and that's where the 8 came from. Basically, was the trio bit with with Apoo and the Queen and all that, and that was really good. But I feel like, and I did like the bit at the beginning. Maybe it's like an 8.5 actually, because we did get a lot of good bits.
This is the thing. I've been staring at this Kaido panel
hard
for ages because I think it's sick.
Yeah, it's sick.
I love it. So that bumps it up, and then the Yamato bit at the end bumps it up.
I was gonna say we only got 5 pages of what happened in the samurai fight, but I'm like, they got some pretty raw panels and stuff. And even at the end, the Yamato bit didn't really progress as much as we kind of wanted to. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was nice. It was a good moment, like them telling them. But basically, all she done was got up, hit someone, and then basically started the fight.
Maybe I have been too nice. Then.
But it was a cool moment at the same time. That's what makes One Piece. So I don't know, but I think I'm gonna give it 8.5. Actually, the more I think about it, it was segmented into 3 bits, right? And we got a little bit of each one, and then a lot of the Queen bit. But at the same time, all 3 bits were really fucking good. So I'll give it like an 8.5. I think.
We can settle on an 8.5 then. That's fair enough.
I think I was also thinking about how good JJK and My Hero were this week. So it's tough. But like I said, all 3 of them series being their prime right now, all the series that I'm watching, it's a beautiful time. I'm probably going to get stick for saying that One Piece is in its prime right now, but I don't mean it like that. I mean they're in a conclusive arc.
You're on a roll today.
I
stick
know.
For this and stick for the Hawks comment in My Hero.
Yeah, but
you're asking for the smoke.
I'll take the smoke from the Hawk fans. No, I've enjoyed our reviews today, but if you enjoyed that, then thank you for watching this far anyway, and listen to us ramble on about these pirates. But if you did enjoy it though, please consider subscribing. We do this every week. We've reviewed previous chapters. I don't even know for how many weeks now I think about it. We've done it pretty consistently though. So I think our podcast on episode, is it 17 or 18? Maybe above that. But no, anyway, we talk about this every week. We do a podcast every week, as I just mentioned. We basically just review all the chapters together, have a discussion about a certain subject, something that's gone on in the week, and we talk about the news of the week and stuff like that. Like a lot of the news recently has been about Demon Slayer, and we talk as before. We said that we spoke about My Hero this week as well. So if you're into My Hero, then please check out our latest chapter review on that. Watch the podcast if you want us to listen to us talk about other series as well, because we talk about a lot of niche series and stuff, so you might find something you like. But other than that, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave a like if you did enjoy it, and we hope to see you in the next video. Peace.